Good afternoon, guys. So I'm just heading to the city at the moment. It's my day off. I'm not going to work or anything. I just want to go for a nice cruisy ride, but I want to head away from all the forests and national parks this time. Anyway, so what I want to talk about today is a revised review of the Royal Enfield Himalayan versus the BMW G310GS, and the reason for this is because I don't think I gave a fair go to the Royal Enfield Himalayan. I had a brief ride on the BMW G310GS compared to having ridden the Royal Enfield Himalayan for a few months, and just because I was so excited to ride the BMW, my view was distorted, my perception was distorted. It scared me. Relax, mate. There's Sydney City over there, nice. And there goes a train above. Love it. Oh, this guy doesn't even have any indicators, mate. Just uses his hands. What a beast. Anyway, so the Royal Enfield Himalayan is a 411cc single-cylinder engine that produces 24.5 horsepower, and the BMW G310GS 313cc liquid-cooled engine, single-cylinder, that produces about 32 horsepower. Or about 30 horsepower, I believe. Originally I was like, oh yeah, the BMW is better based on that little test ride, just because it seemed to have more power. It was more responsive and quicker on the throttle. I was just an excited little schoolboy riding that one. But now that I've actually ridden the BMW G310GS longer, I rode it for a few days, and I got a varying opinion on it this time, just because of a lot of issues that it had. If you guys haven't seen that video, the top 10 things I don't like about the BMW G310GS, then check that out now. The link is in the description box below. The Royal Enfield Himalayan is a way better off-roader, although it's not as good as on the road because it's only got a 5-speed transmission, and the torque curve really, it drowns out when it comes to torque and horsepower at the higher ranges on the RPM spectrum, whereas the BMW just keeps going harder and harder as you just shift through the gears. But the problem with the BMW is it's got really short gears. You got to keep shifting through the gears again and again, which just gets really annoying. It's nowhere near as comfortable as the Royal Enfield. The suspension is quite lacking. It basically just feels like a toy overall. The handlebars wobble for no apparent reason. It's got tiny foot pegs. It's got a big rounded petrol tank that just won't get out of the way. It kind of hits your knees. And the BMW, I don't know, it just kind of, it felt cheap, unrefined. Kind of felt like BMW just came up with this idea, and without testing it too well, they've just released it. Although the BMW's got the inverted front suspension fork, which is apparently supposed to be better, the Royal Enfield's just got the long travel front suspension, which just seems to work much better. Plus the fact that it's got a higher ground clearance. It's got a 21-inch tyre on the front, and BMW's only got a 19-inch tyre on the front. The Royal Enfield really just kills it when it comes to off-road performance, and if you're getting an adventure bike that you want to take on long distances, you really want something that can go wherever you want to go. You don't want to be restricted. Although the BMW can handle its fair amount of off-roading, it just kind of rattles, and the fairings on it kind of just rattle. The front headlight, the headlight like shakes. It wobbles within its casing. Basically the BMW's just got a vast array of problems. Wobbly headlight, wobbly handlebars, small foot pegs, fat rounded petrol tank that just gets in the way of your knees as you're standing. You're trying to adopt the standing position on it. It's got really short gears. So you got to constantly shift through the gears, which just is not fun. And basically the BMW just kind of feels confused when you're riding it. It feels like it doesn't know whether it wants to be an adventure bike or a street bike. It's kind of an awkward mix between the two. Oh nice, this is like Rich Street here, where all the high-end shops are. And oh man, wish I had money. Fuck. Hell. I'm going on the Harbour Bridge, dude. Oh my god, never done this before on a motorbike. Believe it or not, been living in Sydney my whole life, never been on the Harbour Bridge on a motorcycle, and I've been riding for 10 years. Unbelievable, eh? That is fucking nice, mate. Follow this guy. Looks like he knows what he's doing. Anyway, well, I mean, at least I can give you guys a little tour of Sydney here. So I'm on the Harbour Bridge, which is like a 150 something year old bridge. If I'm wrong about the years, then sorry I'm wrong. There's the Opera House over there. I've just exited the main part of Sydney, the CBD. I'm now heading towards North Sydney, which is just over there. The train runs along this bridge. Anyway, back to the Royal Enfield Himalayan and the BMW. So for ease sake, I'm just going to call it the Himalayan and the BMW, okay? We already know what bike I'm talking about. I mean, you clicked on this video because of that. So overall, even with its many faults, the BMW is still a tad more of a premium bike. It is still a bit more fun to ride than the Royal Enfield. It offers slightly more than the Royal Enfield. When you look at everything overall, you look at its road performance and its off-road performance versus the Royal Enfield's road and off-road performance. It is slightly better. But is it worth an extra $3,000? $2,000 to $3,000? No, it is not. And in India, where the Himalayan versus the BMW, it's a matter of like double the price. Is it really worth double the price? Hell no, it's not. Oh. So here's North Sydney in front of me. Nice. So anyway, when it comes to taking price into consideration, when price is also a factor, do you want to be buying the BMW or the Royal Enfield? Hands down, buy the Royal Enfield Himalayan when price is a factor. Because with such a huge discrepancy, such a huge difference in price, you get way more bike for way little price. I wouldn't say way more bike, but you get a lot of damn bike for a lot less price. So anyway guys, thanks for watching. Basically, you want to get yourself a Royal Enfield Himalayan if you're considering that, or the BMW G310GS. Another option is to just take your time, just wait, take your time, and eventually the KTM Adventure 390, which we spoke about in the previous video, will be coming out next year, and that'll be one epic competitor in this market. Anyway, I'm just gonna chuck my music back on. Thanks for tuning in. If my camera battery is not about to die, then enjoy the rest of the ride. I mean, you've probably gotten all the information you wanted from this video, so feel free to close it. But if you don't want to close it and you want to check out this lovely city, then keep watching, because I'm crossing the harbour bridge once again. It's a very iconic part of this city, the harbour bridge. Alright, enjoy. Night sky. Music just turned off. God damn it. Music just turned off. Alright, and there's the main part of Sydney. Sydney City. Sometimes I wish I actually worked in the city just so I could ride in and out every day, because it's actually pretty fun riding around here. Western suburbs. Yeah, it's actually quite fun. So yeah.
Put your hands in the air, we'll be alright. That's right. You keep messing up my mind, but I love your style. And I'm loving your lips like a candy bar. I ain't kidding, I just wanna have ya. Ain't kidding, I just gotta have ya. Girl, you like an uncut diamond. Every time when you put your smile on, really wanna get to know you better. Loving every minute with two.